Yeah. Let me just warm up. Good morning, everyone. It just got bright all of a sudden. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. It is Sunday. It is the first coffee and underwear of 2024. Yes, that makes sense. That's how it works, I think. Last week was New Year's Eve, which feels like 40 years ago. And we've all changed so much. We've grown and we've learned so many things about each other. I trust that you all have a good New Year's. I love that. I love saying it's a great way to not have to ask how people are. You say, "What did you do for New Year's? Did you have a good New Year's?" Or you skip all that shit and go, "I trust you had a good New Year's." And then they're not going to disagree with you because you're trusting. You've already given them your trust. They can't disagree with it. It's a really good workaround. I trust you had a wonderful evening. That's what I'm going to say. Next time I hang out with somebody, I'm going to say, I trust you had a good dinner. They're not going to say anything. I'm going to live in my own bubble of fake trust, and I think it's great. Underwear, let's do underwear. This is Egyptian blue. I don't know why they call it Egyptian blue. Nevertheless, they're fun. They also have, I don't know what brand it is. They have the pouch that you're supposed to put everything in. I'm not going to do that. It's too much work for me. It's too much for me to think about. It's, you know what I'm saying? I don't need one thing here and one thing there. And then if I lose one or if they get separated and need to be together. And also, before I continue, you must rush out and watch the latest AEW with the burgeoning Billie Starkz. I believe that's what I'm going to call her now, because she is burgeoning. She's on her way up, and that could mean a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. What an odd person. Kentucky educated, but also barely. She didn't go to high school for the last 2 months and still became valedictorian, which we get into. The bunny head. If you're confused by Billie Starkz, I think this video would be a really, really good explanation. So go watch it on AEW's YouTube. Go comment, go like it, go share it. Go tell her that you like it. Go tell her mother that you like it and that you think her mother came off very well, because she's dissected quite heavily in the episode. That is episode 83, I think. Someone will be able to check. Somebody has a chart at home and they'll be able to check, but I think it's 83. Anyway, go do that. Sas said, RJ is canonically 63. I used to be like 66, 67, and I think I got younger. I think I had a little spring in my step, so it's a sliding scale. Amanda said, good morning, sir. Hello, friends. What a delightful hey today to our old man, RJ. Sean said, hey, occulties. Good morning, RJ. V said, good morning. V said, I hope you're doing well. You should trust I'm doing well. Mikey said, good morning. Any progress with Billie Starkz' mom? I know she's seen the episode. Have not heard directly from her yet. V said, you've aged so beautifully for a 63-year-old. I'm trying my best. Gina said, if Billie Starkz' mom is on the market, he can make a play. If Billie Starkz' mom is off the market, he can make a play for Shayna Wayne. Also, don't think that's a good idea. Gonna leave them be. Suplex just said, good morning, everyone. Hope you are all better than great. See the levels, and then I push back on it. If you just said, I trust your guy, you're gonna get no argument from me. Jeff said, good morning. So Sierra said, good morning. Christine said, good morning. Emmanuel said, if you wanted a guest to be on Hey, one wrestler and one celebrity, dead or alive, who can that be? Super easy. And I've made people make signs about it. Jesse Ventura, and then either BB Newirth or Tony Shalhoub. I would have loved to have had, if we're going into fantasy dead world, I would love to have Lou Albano, Freddie Blassie, Randy Savage, Dave Schultz. Oh my God. I would have loved that so much. I would have loved to have Roddy Piper on the show. I would have loved to have, now I'm thinking, I got to think of dead celebrities now. Please don't make me do this. I do this enough already. I don't think I would have loved to have Paul Rubens on the show. I think it would have been a whole thing that I don't think he would have ever done it. So it's fine. Who else? Who else is dead? Yeah, that's it. I think that's, oh my God. Richard Belzer. I would have had him on the show for sure. Joseph Ray Mouse said, what up, RJ? You're awesome, dude. Funny as hell. And you know how hilarious hell can be. How we go down there and have a good laugh. Red Dog said, hi, brother. Nail said, you can say Merry Orthodox Christmas today to Ethan Page and others, like the Tolis brothers, the only other Greek wrestlers I know. So Merry Christmas. We're just saying Merry. It's just Christmas. They just do it then, right? It's not like I have to say something else. Sam said, I must know the heat with Betty White. So after the crew came up to me after today's Hey and said, what is the story? And I said, well, if you type in Rue McClanahan B. Arthur Memorial, there is a speech that Rue gives that tells you everything you need to know. Okay, Gamer said, well, hi, and well, hi to you. Fine use of the emoji of those cartoons, which I enjoy. I love those old cartoons. I watched them again yesterday, and I went, they're good. Vanessa Craven is here, said, here we are in 2024, and I've officially run out of English words for underwear, so new year, new words. So, always getting her linguistic juices flowing, and I commend her for that. We're going international as such. Happy Sunday to those convening to watch RJ and his mutandi. I got a pair of mutandis on. That's Italian, but certainly not how I said it. But thank you for that. That's very, if I may, pull a reference, Auntie Macassar from Big Comfy Couch. That's the vibe you're getting. But I mean that in the best way. So I hope that makes sense. I'm way far behind in the chat. Squirrel Squad said, pouch. The pouch is the way to go. Bradley said the pouch is life-changing. I was skeptical about the pouch. Maybe halfway through the episode. Nail said, Christina's keeping score for SV. Said, the way you describe those underwear suggests they need to come with a map for you generals. They're all over the place. Christine said, I have a Word doc. And yes, so the Billie Starkz episode is episode 83. So I'm correct. I'm on track. Let's not lose this. Thank you, Christine. Bill said, were you trying to become Daddy Starkz at the end? Felt like a Marvel end credits moment. I was just asking the question. Josh said, will your toddler improv make your demo reel? What a good toddler I did. You can tell I've studied them before and go, this is how they move. Suplexes said, on the day of live shows and pay-per-views, how early does everyone show up to the building? Is it an all-day thing where you go over things and prepare? Always wondered this. I don't have a lot going on. It depends on what people have to do. My Hays are usually very early. They used to be super early, like 9 o'clock in the morning at the hotels. And I think you can see which episodes are at hotel meeting rooms. Not as early as you would think for something so involved. It's closer to being legitimate than you imagine. I assure you. They don't show up early enough to halt my anxiety. Jeff said, I'm a little bummed that you're home and not in Orlando for the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Live 18 show that's later today. Matt Cardona didn't fucking invite me, but I got news for you, Jeff. I will be seeing Matt on the cruise. Bradley said, to quote Dorothy Parker, cabbling Robert Benchley on December 31st, you come right over here and explain why they are having another year. Joseph said, what are the chances of you having Abaddon on Hey EW? My chair is open. If they want to come on, Abaddon can come on. So said Jesse Ventura is in the Baja. I got to go over there. Nail said, are you ready for the non-cult people to demand a Betty White explanation? It should be public knowledge. We should get it out there. Gene said, Bobby Heenan would have been amazing on Hey, or maybe it would have been a clash. Kevin said, Dr. D, David Schultz is still alive. I know, Kevin, but I'm afraid of him. I'm terrified. I saw him once at a Starkcast, and I wouldn't get his autograph because he frightened me. Mia said, my procedure went well. No cancer was found. Well, let's press to that. A no cancer press. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. No cancer in here. There's no cancer in you. Congratulations. V said, RJ, why do you hate Betty White? Why do I hate, toothpaste scumbags? That's why. Okay? Do your research. Look it up. It's not me. And that's the nicest thing I've heard said about her. Bradley said, Vincent Price would have been an amazing guest. Oh, I think these mugs are so lovely. Mike said, Dr. D wouldn't put up with these shit. That's for sure. Look. Nell said, who else is dead? Harley Cameron managed to wake up and said, look. Okay, first of all, she tried to write, look in the camera and sip the coffee, but she just wrote, look, and then hit send too early because she was too excited about being part of this again. And now she had to write it again. So a hot start for Harley Cameron, who has the oldest, every profile picture she has different hair, and I never know who I'm talking to. Look in the camera and sip the coffee. Lest we forget the last time she was here. And we was so obtuse that people made gifts and she was so embarrassed by them that she didn't answer them. Here we go. Here we go. Let me, it's a nice hearty pour there. There you go. Sick, sick human being. Rod said, have we waited polite enough amount of time before asking you about the sexual device in your mouth on prom night? I think we have. We can talk about it. We can tell the prom story. It's a good story. So there, what it's good to know that this person doesn't watch my stuff. Prom weekend, I went to two proms. I went to the one the year before mine, and I went to my year. So this one was my year. The one before me was a great time. I had a fantastic time. So this year we went to somebody's house, a cottage. So you would go, and then the weekend would be like a cottage. And so we got there early. I thought we got to get there early because I need a bed. I can't sleep on the floor. I can't sleep on the couch. It's just not going to work. I need to like get there before anyone else, like a, like a pioneer or something, and stake my claim to a bed. So we did. Me and my friends got there as early as possible. The first one's there. Amazing. The whole house to ourselves. Let's go. Pick whatever room we want. And so I picked this bed. And what's going on here? It's kind of an odd looking room. It's all white. It's all weird. Like, let's see what's in the drawers. I was a pain in the ass child. And it was a sex room. It was the girl's father's sex room. There was like pornographic VHSs. There was like playing cards where it's like, click this whole routine, dice. And then your standard fare, your fuzzy handcuffs, your thing, things of this nature. And there was also a small, white, medium size pleasure device. And I thought, well, it's prom weekend and we have access to this. We've got to have a good time. So that became the running joke of the weekend, putting that thing places and just look at this guy's room and all this, general weirdness. Don't know why, if kids are coming up to your cottage, you don't clean out your fucking sex room. But that's just me. I just wouldn't invite them. I would say no one can come. Anyway, I had brownies that I did not understand had a purpose other than eating. And I was starving and the food was shit. So I had a lot of, and I was no recollection of this. And there's a picture of me and I fell asleep with my mouth open like this, which is just like a giant target on my back. And they put it in, they took a picture, and it must be on some old family personal computer. There's no way that I would be stunned if someone's found it and sent it to me. And also, so weeks later, we all had a great time. And the girl whose father owned the cottage said, my dad said, nobody can come to the cottage anymore because, quote, someone took something. We had taken the pleasure device with us, which was also insane. So that poor guy probably had a heart attack, but we had a good time. So there's the story. Does that work for you? I'm so far behind now. Jesus. Neil said, happy cultiversary to me. Can you give us a rendition of Billie Starkz valedictorian speaks? How'd she give it one? Yes. Okay, guys, great. Hey, mom, good to see everybody coming out. A lot of faces I haven't seen. It's pretty cool to finally be here and hang out. I wrestle on Ring of Honor, ROHTV.com. There's an app. There's a whole thing. Pay-per-views. I did the pay-per-view in Texas, and I'm a fellow student. So I know a lot of good stuff that's going on. Hey, how about Kentucky? How about it? Guys, that would be pretty great. Just be cool. Just let loose. Like go out and have fun. I'm living my dreams. They hurt a lot, but I'm living them. So hopefully your dreams are as painful. And scene. See, the implication was that she was wearing the bunny hat the whole time, you see. Simon said good morning. Josh said good morning. Red Dog said Richard Belzer couldn't handle a little sleeper hold, brother. Harley said, hi, Mia and Amanda. Thanks for tuning in to my show. Let's see how long Harley lasts before she's never in here again. Neil said, so as Harley says, no sudden movements. Don't make her angry. Harley's a knife gal. They say so much about gun control, not enough about knife control anymore. Amanda said, oh, so now we may get a tuck in a pouch and we might all die. Joseph said, ever get nervous before you go on live? All the time. Here, less, because the bar is so low. I fucked up so many times here that I'm like, I'll figure it out. That's built into the show. But otherwise, yes, when you're doing, World's End or even doing Hayes, which are not live, but still. Wolfie said, who inspired you to go into the wrestling industry? My lack of mental development as a teen, I think, is what did it. Amanda said, are you excited for the cruise? Are there any plans for a special? Hey, we're working on some special business right now for the cruise, comedic in nature. There might be a hey. There could always be a hey. And it's international waters, so maybe you'll get somebody who isn't necessarily with the company. GL4H said, RJ, what is your favorite coffee? That's a great question. Let me find... I'm so happy you asked because my favorite coffee is this coffee right here. High Anxiety by the people at Rootless Coffee, rootlesscoffee.com. And does it say it here? That wonderful, it's like taste. It's like nutty darkness. Dark. No, it says they took off the nutty part. Something for us all to think about. V said, if you think Sheeta hit you hard, have Dr. Dion. SM said, watching Dalton and David feed the barn animals warmed my cold, dead heart. As you may know, and we've talked about it, maybe last week we did. David Arquette has a barnyard, Bozo's Barnyard on Instagram, and he's finally loving life. He was struggling for so long. And he's got 2 pigs, 2 miniature horses, 1 cow, 1 donkey, and a bulldog. Suplexer said, still blows my mind that you were on the road with the Nasty Boys. I would love to sit in the car and just listen to those 3 personalities. Must have been an interesting time. It was a disaster. But I got through it. Claire said, I haven't made it on here to watch a 63-year-old man in pants have coffee in months. Happy me. Well, welcome back, Claire. Nail said, I hope Shower Girl finally got her shower after one of those proms. No. Proms, other than the stuff I just talked about, my proms were surprisingly inactive. Wishmar said, hey, RJ, good morning. You and Dalton Castle should tag team and use The Darkness, I believe, in a thing called Love. That music would fit y'all's entrance. I think you're just including me in things that Dalton would like. Julie said, I logged into this at exactly the right time. Jack said, 50 Shades of RJ. Nebraska Joe Nelson said, every few weeks, I feel the need to chime in and make it clear that RJ is a national treasure. International, dual citizen. And we need to protect him at all costs. I hate when fucking people say that because they don't do shit. They do nothing for. I'm a vulnerable. I'm an egg. I'm a cracked egg. No one's protecting me. The Bette Midler of the wrestling business. Thanks. Nail said, why was the door not locked? Exactly. This wasn't a break in and enter. I didn't really feel bad about it because it was so shoddy. V said, prom dungeon. That's a twist. Amanda said, this is amazing. Christine said, what kind of respectable person doesn't have a lock on their sex dungeon? And I can't impart this on people enough. Lock your sex dungeon. It's a dungeon. You got locks everywhere else. Human Adventure said, good morning, my dudes. On my way to the gym, and I'm curious about something. RJ, what was your gym attire like? Like sweatpants and a hoodie? I don't like sweating, so I will sweat a lot. So I do some sort of tank top and shorts, relatively short shorts, because I got to move with my legs, so I need the space. I have 2 pairs of gym shoes, one I take on the road, one I keep with me, and short socks. That's it. You're not missing anything. I have a shirt that I've been wearing quite often with the wonderful Stockard Channing on it as Rizzo in Greece. Amanda says, that picture somewhere. We need it. I have no idea where that picture is. Rob said, if the sex room wasn't locked, imagine what took priority and was locked up. Exactly. What was possibly in the attic? Leo said, if WWE can get Pat McAfee, can AEW get Adam Friedland? Fucking absolutely. Harley Cameron said, I hear only 1% of the population can sing through their nose. It's a rare talent. Are you talented enough to attempt this? No, I'm not. No, I am. I'm just humming. That hurt. That hurt my throat. And I'm not. I'm just humming. You're just making me hum. It's just, is this one of those things where when you do it, you just hum and you're like, it's coming from my nose? Sounds like a scam to me. Nell said, I can't wait for RJ City. This is your life. Bradley said, didn't the sex toy end up? Thank you for reminding me, Bradley. Yes. The sex toy ended up in one of my teacher's cars. So we thought there was a drama teacher we had. And this is really, I was truly a horrible person. We wrote his name on it in permanent marker, and we put it in the tissue box in his car, thinking like under the tissues, thinking, it'll take weeks, months for him to get through all the tissues, and then what the hell's this? And we thought he wasn't a guy who looked like he ever blew his nose, but his wife was definitely a nose blower. So we thought his wife is we've planted it in such a way that only his wife will find it and say, "What is this?" And he'll be like, "I don't know." So be like, "It has your name on it." And it turns out his wife doesn't drive in that car. That car is such a piece of shit that his wife never drove with him. And, like a whole year went by, and we were just at this point like, what? Come on. No. So then I think we had to go in and show him. We're like, look. So that also went really well. Christine said, wait, did you call it a prom or a formal? There was a formal, which was like for people who didn't go to prom. It was like prom for people who were too young for prom, which is the stupidest thing in the world. I can't believe we spent any money on this. I can't believe we wore suits. What were we thinking? Leo said, when are you getting an action figure? At this rate, it's not happening. Liam said, apologies, this has been asked before, but what is your preferred model of French press? You know what? I was actually just complaining about this one because it leaks a little. I like those ceramic ones. The red one I have the thumbnail, every thumbnail I have the red one, but they're a little harder to press. They can get a little messy. So if you don't have a sink or something, I would say a Bodum is a little neater. I think I need to get a new one. Christine said, ours was formal. Maybe my school's trying to be fancy. Joseph said, best moment was when you said to Anna J, let's talk about your fat ass. So you're just naming things. Plain Simple Garrick said, the Turner Classic Movies crossover is awesome. TCM is the best. I can't say enough good things. I'm so happy that we got those shirts, the post. Everyone seemed to like it. I'm sure they were thrilled. Us being people under the age of 67. And hopefully we can meet Mank one day. I'm gonna try to get to the set. I'm gonna see what's possible. Leo said, yeah, but what is your actual favorite coffee? Fuck you, Leo. This is good coffee. And I drink it. This is not shit. I would not put my name on a coffee of all things. I put my name on tons of other shit, believe me, but not coffee. I'm so lost. Good morning. No. Leo said, is Greg Valentine a messy eater? Depends what kind of evening you have with him. Christine said, talk about a full barnyard. Leo said, I love donkeys. Underrated cuteness, but loud. Julie said, I love the little Easter egg on the coffee bag. Shh. Mike said, I came across a photo of you on Facebook with Kanyon and your old tag partner. Any memories of Kanyon to share? Yes. So I only met him over the span of 2 or 3 days. He just gotten fired from WWE. And I think he just did Howard Stern. And he was really nice to us. He was the nicest guy in the world. And I would love talking to him. He was so cool. He was so smart. And then he was just talking to us a lot about our gear and our gimmicks and blah, blah, blah. And because we had like neon, like rockery shit going on. And I don't want to talk about it. And out of nowhere, finally, like he was talking to us in the corner and he said, so you ever thought about experimenting? And I was like, and then I look over and the entire locker room was watching because they set him up. And it was a communal rib, which was adorable. And I was stunned. But a really sweet fella. I can't believe you found that photo, Mike. Jesus. W. Stein said, when you come to Greensboro for Revolution, will you try some Lexington barbecue? No, I will not. I'll get something from Sheetz and that'll be it. Leo said, who in AEW is an Alan Partridge fan? I don't ask. I watch. I don't go, who, Lauren said, hey, RJ, and the Sylvia emoji is there. I'm going to my brother's to watch Wrestle Kingdom, and I have brunch for my birthday. That sounds delightful. What would you serve at a wrestling brunch? Well, you're watching wrestling, right? So you want to watch. To keep the head down, to do all that business is hard. French toast sticks might be of interest to you. That might work. A sandwich, like a French toast sandwich. You put it all together and a little syrup, a little egg, a little bacon, that whole routine. And you can have Bloody Marys, but just coffee is so much better. Just hard stale bread dunked in coffee. That would work for me. Rod said, I don't like sweating. There's a wrestling catchphrase. Neil said, got any backstage gossip on Dalton's sandwich? Who made it? What was in it? So according to Ian Riccaboni, Dalton Castle had a fried egg in his sandwich. Here's what blows my mind. I've been coming here almost 2 years now. I've been coming for 22 months. And nowhere in catering have I ever seen a fried egg. So wrap your head around that one. V said RJ likes short shorts has been an important PSA. Leo said, can you pressure Tony Khan to get Adam Friedland? Imagine him on commentary will be better than the collision commentary. I would have Daddy Magic and Adam Friedland. The Wrestler said, while Renee was getting her hat stolen on Total Divas, RJ was putting in the work by making Slapnuts do the job. And I was here, she was here, and then we finally came together. Nell said, oh my God, that teacher could have been confronting his teary wife after asking for a divorce and handing her the tissues. He was fine. He was a good man. He's still alive, but yeah. Jack said, 47 years old, and I've never been able to blow my nose. It just always makes it worse. Just got to suck it back. Amanda said, I got RJ a travel French press years ago. He never used. I forget to bring it. I'm sorry. Nell said, clean your sinks. Human Adventure said, we once plastered pornography and sex toys in the trunk of my friend's car without him knowing. That's a good one. Then a couple days later, he said, so my mom borrowed the car for grocery shopping. And that's how his mother became a porn addict. Bradley said, the Razov French press is really great and has pretty flowers on the side. Leo said, do you like David's Bozo the Clown Carnival Cotton Candy Coffee? I did. And I like, what is that place? Tiffany's? They put out that whole line of coffee. I think it's very sweet of them. And Bozo's, it goes to healthy humor, which is so nice. The clowns helping the kids in the hospital is very sweet. Phil said, I shared a bag of Cheetos with Greg Valentine last year in Vegas, and that's why he respects you. Josh said, you look amazing for 63. Anytime you interview someone who has passed through Ridgefield Park, it's a special occasion for me. I'll be sure to mention it. James said, you'll be missing out on that Lexington barbecue, RJ. I'm okay with that. Neil said, if it wasn't a rib, I bet that would have been a great kiss. I would have kissed him. Rasser said, did you know the original plan for Raw was to have people in suits and dresses be served 3-course meals while watching Yoko Banzai drop Coco? Seems like something RJ would love. That reminds me of the old days. You see pictures of like Gorgeous George, and the audience is all in the fedoras and the peacoats with newspapers in their hands. And they like to wave them around. Look, I got today's news. I would have loved that so much. Rob said, did Dalton bring his own fried egg? That makes sense, strangely. I don't know what to tell you. Christine said, there's no way there was a fried egg in that sandwich. Well, Ian Riccaboni, also known liar. Leo said, I was watching one of those My 600-Pound Life shows, and the girl who was taking care of the large guy was wearing a Ryback Feed Me More shirt. I'll tell you what I love about My 600-Pound Life. Is that Dr. Now guy? Just lay off the sugary drinks, try not to have too much Sprite. It's like, Doc, these people are slowly dying, and sometimes not that slowly. Oh, you didn't do what I asked you. You didn't go for a walk. Not very good. Could there be a more uncharismatic person on television in the history of the medium? Oh, what are you doing today? We've lost 3 pounds. Very good. You got, make sure you drink water, eat maybe fruit instead of chips. These people are in tremendous pain, Dr. Now. I looked up Dr. Now because I didn't look. I found him on Cameo, and I was like, holy shit. I want to say very happy birthday to your niece. And I was like, oh, my God. And then I looked him up. And this surgery is successful, allegedly. Not that often. I think he's been sued a bunch. Look, he's got a good Wikipedia. Let me put it that way. I don't know what happened. We try our best and see what we can do. Hello, I'm Dr. Now. Also, his name isn't actually Dr. Now, which is a first red flag. So Lexus said, I like when you keep your microwave. Good spot. You don't have to bend over. It's great. Plain Simple Garrick said, can't wait for the return of Daly's Place. Daly's Place is the first place I ever went to for an AEW show. I came to get the lay of the land, and it was a great time. I am excited to go. It'll be emotional for me because I've only been there once. Neil said, what's the most non-wrestling thing you've ever done with a wrestler? Question is for the whole group. What does that mean? I want to say I went to a museum once. Dalton and I We definitely did something on our off day in LA, and I can't remember now what it was. Some most non-wrestling thing. Me and Danny Doring went to Whole Foods once, sold them on the value of butter coffee. That feels like I think it's good. Me, Steve Carino, and Tommy Dreamer, they got these hotels that I had to drive them to in a resort in Toronto. And they both had naps because they were super tired. And I used every amenity. There was like mini pot and a water slide. I had a really good time. Vanessa Craven said, I don't know why, but I just can't get into eggs Benedict. Something about the hollandaise sauce turns me up. It's so, how do I explain this? It's so like, I want to say gluttonous. This is something where it's like it should only be eaten by a prince who is so rich that he can afford to eat that shit. Does that make any sense? You know, like caviar, where you're like, this isn't really that good. It's only good because it's hard to get, and that's why people pretend it's good. It's that richness. I want it as rich as possible. That kind of feeling. Now said Rick Bonnie slander. That guy's a piece of shit. Everyone seems to like the Dr. Now impression. Josh said, are you familiar with the meeting hall in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey? It's the hub for indie shows in the New York City area. At least half of AEW's roster has worked a match there at some point. This place is like that. This place is like IWC in Pittsburgh, I feel like is the most underrated indie ever. And you look back in the list and you're like, oh my God, look at all the people here. ESW is another one. You're like, oh, almost everyone in AEW has worked here. Rod said, that doctor impression isn't far off from Artie Johnson sitting on a park bench with Buzzy. Very interesting. Dr. Now sounds like Charles Gray. Nell said, I got my picture taken with Matt Cardona for free once. That's my most non-wrestling story, and that definitely won't happen again. Maureen said, good morning, happy New Year's to all. Kurt said, I have been missing these streams since mid-December. It's great to see you. Where have I been? Question, can you watch Home Alone knowing the tarantula scenes are coming? Home Alone sucks, period, and that puts it over the top. That makes it, and I hate that people will like just post that clip on Instagram. I'm like, it's not my bag. Don't like it. That's one of the worst ones. For sure. Human Avenger said, when my wife and I go to the gym, she unintentionally dresses like Little Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch Out when he goes jogging. Well, that's adorable. Brad said, you went to a theme park and was confused for the Theme Park Enthusiast Club, right? Yes, me, Dalton, Taven, and Colin Delaney, the Coaster Club. Thank you, Kurt. Yes, we did. Phil Jones said, I went to see We Will Rock You with Emi Sakura in London. Gonna need to hear more about this, Phil. So Sierra said, I sang karaoke with Scorpio Sky on the Jericho Cruise. I feel like that's normal, though. They have the whole karaoke thing set up. Leo said, it's funny how Daly's place was supposed to be the interesting outdoor venue that was a special thing, but then they had to end up using it for over a year. But yet, it was to their benefit. That was the only tolerable pandemic wrestling, quite frankly. Christine said, I fielded a call from Trish Stratus at work when we were trying to get her on the cover of our magazine. Christine, very fancy. And then I helped on the photo shoot day. Here, let me hold this fan. Nell said, strike two. Okay, Gamer said, I disagree. Caviar is very good. I feel like if it was so widely available, if you went to a bulk food store and they just had a bin of caviar that you could scoop, people wouldn't be that excited about it. I feel like the rarity ups this perceived quality. It's okay. It's not that good. Harley Cameron said, the people want to see you interview Harley Cameron. Why don't you give the people what they want? Why do you not have sea monkeys as a child? Why is your name RJ City and not BJ District? Congrats to Harley Cameron on being the 358th person to make a RJ City. Why isn't your name joke? It's a riot. It's so fresh. And that's probably why I haven't had you on the show. Start working on some new material. Woman shows up just to get destroyed. God bless. Nell said, Christine, you work for a magazine? Human Invention said, I like a nice poached eggs on our spicy ramen. No, I don't think I've had ramen in my own life. Amanda said, IWC is great. When are you going back? AIW is also very good. Mia said, how do you feel not seeing Matt Taven not wearing purple? I did not recognize him. Nell said, yeah, I don't want a picture with Matt Cardona anymore. I got heat with him. Oh, boy. Maureen said, by the way, Newark, California is really cool. Okay, good, because Newark, New Jersey is not. Vanessa said, Home Alone sucks? How dare you? It's just so much. John Candy really saves the movie. Blows in, drops a bunch of funny lines, blows out. It's too Christmassy. It's too. I don't care after a while. I want to see a full movie about every other character in that movie, but Macaulay Culkin. David Ritchie said, I'm late again. The wrestler said, Billie Starkz is Adam Rose's bunny confirmed. I wrestled Adam Rose once, and I was disguised as the bunny, and then I hit him. And then he gave me a rock bottom into a bunch of ring pops, and it was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. Leo said, I think adults who go to theme parks are weird. I've lost my place. I just cannot respect them, but they're now made for adults. So what do you want them to do? They're not made. They're too terrifying for children. Leo said, COVID AEW was actually amazing. So much cool stuff happened during the dailies run. Joseph said, which is worse, Home Alone or Christmas with the Cranks? Well, I've never seen Christmas with the Cranks. Rod said, I've read that lobster used to be considered food for the masses and not for the upper middle class. See? It's a scam. Once you get rid of enough of something, rich people will like it. Phil said, it was when Emi Sakura and Shida were in the UK in 2011 with Pro Wrestling Eve and Ice Ribbon. I was helping out, driving them around the UK. And then you changed their whole life. Christine said, 300th is an indictment. 300th? I have to say 300th. Back you, Christine. Leo wrote, RJ Titty. Happy Human Adventure said, I remember when Tom Hanks ate caviar in Big. Or are we not allowed to talk about Tom Hanks because David may have some weird beef like he does with Michael Keaton? David has a beef with Michael Keaton? Where is he? I just talked to him this morning. He was asking me. We were talking about Bronson Pink Show. To the surprise of no one, we were exchanging Bronson Pink Show content. Nell said, I'm not trusting a man's opinion on delicacies when he drinks other people's gum. I could not let her get away with that. I could not be deterred. Brad said, I ran on Okada the first time in Japan, coming to America at the Dallas Museum of Art. I was also interviewed by the camera crew that was following him. Not sure where their footage was used. They probably just threw it out. But Gene said his name was BJ District. He could have had the Iron Savages on hang and call it BJ and the Bears. See, that's a fresh joke. And then Harley wrote, Gene, I like the way you think, which means she's going to steal your material. Matt Sandy said, Matt Cardona liked a picture of him that I posted on Instagram and then unliked it the next day. Oh, I got to get to the bottom of that, man. Leo said, would you rather watch Greg Valentine eat ramen or I've lost my place, or I was interested in this question. This is a really good question. Or falafel wrap that keeps falling apart. Oh, so either way I have to see him eat. Ramen, because it's kind of similar to his hair. Aesthetically, it goes well. The Wrestler said, my grandma's birthday was last Saturday, and I missed the opening 8-man during World's End. Turns out my grandpa had COVID. Good thing I'm negative. That was probably the whirlwind paragraph of the year. So congrats to you. Rod said, is it difficult to believe that the Wet Bandits were actually... It's difficult to believe that the Wet Bandits were actually successful criminals. Yeah, it really is. It's not a good movie. David Ritchie said, that's the next time I see you at Superkicked. I'm yelling BJ. I haven't been to Superkicked in like 40 years. Christine said, hey, give me full drama about the old neighbor in Home Alone or the Pigeon Lady. Give me a little Netflix series on Brenda Fricker. I'd be interested. James said, would you want to see a movie about Uncle Frank from Home Alone? See, any of them, the Polka, what's the name of the Kenosha Kickers? Is that the name of the band? Maureen said, BCW is a wrestling company in Newark. It's really fun. Bill said, if in Home Alone, it was an adult, not a kid, he would have been charged. My point exactly. Human Adventure said, but what about the movie Home Alone? That doesn't make any sense at all. Jeff said, Coaster Club. That reminds me, this year is coming up on 2 years since more content with RJ City. Oh, my preparation podcast that never went anywhere. It was fun. Went great. Vanessa said, Adam Copeland was onto something with RJ Hamlet. It's a respectable name. He tried to class me up a little, unlike some other people. Plain Simple Garrick said, if you had Danhausen on, you can have Harley. That's a fair assessment. She really is the female Danhausen. Leo said, oysters are disgusting and rich people love them. Oh, look, a horrible slug in a shell. Slurp. Again, rich people have fucked up the whole food thing. Kurt said, RVD once tried to buy something from me outside the National Basketball Arena in Dublin. I was unable to help him. That's a shame. And that's what kept him straight. Wrestler said, one more thing. Can you say, hey, everyone at Ringside Talk, stop pretending Judas isn't? No, I'm not going to fucking say that. I got, a cameo for shit like that. I got to help out these people. I'm not contributing to Ringside Talk in any stretch of the imagination. Please. What's your treat for today, said V? I have pizza, raring to go at noon, probably at high noon. And then I have some birthday cake. It was my mother's birthday yesterday. I have a slice for my own indulgence and a donut. And who knows what else at this point. Amanda said, I need a return of RJ Metropolis. Oh, I'm sure he'll be around somewhere. Lady said, and again with Christmas movie, I chose option C, Scrooge with Bill Murray. Also not a good movie. Like, I've learned that as an adult. This isn't very good. Suplexer said, does Sylvia ever beg for people food? One of our cats go crazy when we have cream cheese on a bagel. She's eaten cream cheese before. She likes certain popcorns, certain butter, certain oils, coconut oils, that sort of thing. And then sometimes chips, like a pita chip or something if she's in the mood. She'll say, oh, what's this? I'm interested. Sometimes maybe like a little small piece of chicken or something. When the mood strikes. Christine has gifted 5 memberships. KP, Suplexer says, David, Richie, Rob, and Kevin all got memberships. So my apologies to them, but thank you, Christine. Red Dog said, what exactly is a falafel made of? I'm not a scientist. Amanda said, it was lovely to see from afar at World's End. Amanda was there. Nails was there in the op and the things. I tried to wave. Nobody saw. Leo said, is RoboCop returning to AEW? I got to get Sting on. Hey. Maureen said, I have a picture of Matt Cardona with a wedgie. Godspeed. Pigeon Lady series would be excellent, see? Mia said, I was hoping you gifted Harley. She does not need any more assistance. V said, even the Toy Store owner would be a better holiday movie. That I would watch. That was played. Wasn't that, you're talking about the guy who owned FAO Schwartz. He was also Roy Wally in Wally's World, wasn't he? Am I crazy? Nail said, can you remember a particular time period that Mad Kurt was here? It'd be cool to find some clips, but I'm not sure where to start. Neither am I, and I'm sorry for not titling things correctly now. And his Twitter is no help because it's been completely deactivated. So, because he would call in, I think he was on Spaces. Obviously, he was in the chat here, but don't know how else you would look for that. I'm sure there's some weird web search engine where you could maybe find it. Kurt said, Home Alone 2 Oscar winners, and an American president. So, in a bad movie, in a movie that's not that good. Let me move on here. Kenosha Kickers, very big in Sheboygan. Thank you so much. Christine said, Kenosha Kickers and Eugene Levy for a pseudo Schmengi reunion. Leo said, have you seen the plushes they do in IKEA? Why are they so good? No, I haven't. Why would I see this? I love those fake kitchens. Those are fun to me. Bradley said, the play Hamlet is one of the only times RJ has been busted open the hard way. That's true. When I did it in high school, I bled the whole time. Nell said, Dr. Now. Are you talking about Dr. Now being on Cameo? Who are you talking about being on Cameo? Kurt said, I loved more content. I probably listened to it 5 or 6 times. Always calms me down. I didn't drink on New Year's Eve. Easter Sunday, I'm getting wasted. Julie said, I like the theory that Uncle Frank is actually my boss. You know, I did a cameo the other day for a vaginoplasty. And you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say. You try to be happy, and then you're like, what if this is happy? This is serious. I did my best. I have not heard from the recipient at all, so I have no idea how I did. Leo said, I had a falafel wrap. That's my cheat. Look at Leo fucking shit up. SM said, happy birthday to Mama City. Everyone's saying happy birthday to her, but she's not here. She's not watching. It's fine. Dan said, I met Greg Valentine and Bruce Beefcake at a Mother Tucker's in Burlington. Ate everything but ramen. I'm sure they did. Scope said, Raul Julian Metropolis, first of his name. Rod said, is Mama City seeing anyone? Just life. Jeff said, your dislike for some of my favorite Christmas movies right now is mind-blowing, but I'm correct. Scrooge is bad. There's some great parts, but as a movie, it's bad. Mia said, when's Sylvia's birthday? Sometime in September. And she's going to be 20 years old. I cannot believe it. Julie said, what is a good Christmas movie then? Bad Santa is fantastic. White Christmas is good. Christmas Vacation, I'll also put on the list. I'll Be Home for Christmas, starring Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Excellent movie. Lindsay said people talk too much about Home Alone and not enough about Uncle Buck. Also a bad movie. It's a bad movie in the same way that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when they go, we've run out of jokes. Let's be really fucking sad. If Billie Starkz is a bunny, said Leo, does she eat her own poo? I'm really sorry I didn't get a chance to ask that. Mike said Duncan's toy chest guy was Roy Wally. So that's the guy. So it wasn't FAO Schwartz. It was Duncan's toy chest. But it was. They filmed it at FAO Schwartz. Leo said, what is the worst cameo video you've ever seen? Oh, there's that one with, what's his name? Smokey Robinson, where he says Happy Chinooka. That's the best one ever. Suplex said, I just rewatched Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. It's fun, but it's not as good as I remember it being. Watched that when I was a kid. Again, when you were a kid, you fucking stupid. Miss Sandy said, Dr. Now on Cameo is slightly more expensive than Baron von Raschke is on there. That's fair, maybe. Do you think that's a fair price? Human Adventure said, remember when the Geico Caveman had a TV show that was based on an IKEA type store? Was it? Am I crazy? I feel like Nick Kroll or somebody famous before they were famous was in that show. Doug said, today's my wife's birthday. She loves you, RJ. And I've lost the shit. Please wish her a great 45th. I'm not going to wish her a great 45th. I'm going to trust that she has a great 45th birthday. V said, I'll Be Home for Christmas is my favorite. Leo said, I once bought a cameo from an X Factor auditionee who went viral, and I got him to say someone had died and sing My Sacrifice by Creed as a tribute, and he did. That's a good person, and that's why he won. Dorothy said, how awesome that Mama said he shares a birthday weekend with me. January 6th. Quite a day. Easy E said, Bad Santa, a dirty Christmas movie? Red Dog said, what about The Ref starring Dennis Leary? Also stars Kevin Spacey. Knocked Glenn Ross down a few pegs, and I love that movie. Kurt said, can we have a quiz of trivia for more content? Let's see who the real fans are. We should have a fun trivia night. Rob said, White Christmas is great, but why does Rosemary Clooney want to wash her face and hair with snow? Is that a thing? I want to wash my face and hands. I want to drown myself in snow. I want to be buried in a casket of snow. Why does she also look like Nathan Lane, Rob? Not time to ask these questions. Bill Wood said, trying to make Bill Murray a good guy did not work. Leo said, did you like the David Arquette Muppets Christmas movie? No, I did not. Mike said, you're shitting on John Hughes. We're going to have words. Those movies suck. Gene said, if Delirious wasn't John Candy's best movie, it was at least his most underrated. Summer Rental was great. I think Spaceballs is his best movie, for sure, in my estimation. What else? There's that one where he's a soap opera writer. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it was good. I remember it being good. He's a tour de force in Nothing But Trouble, which is not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but he's great. Rod said, I'll die in the hill that the Blues Brothers movie sucks. Who was I just telling that to? Maybe it was Renee. They do suck. And all they do is like rip off songs from other people. And it's like, you don't like this movie. You just like Ray Charles. Christine said, wasn't there an Undertaker cameo where he was congratulating someone on their bar mitzvah? Mazel tov. Yeah, he was like, I'm only doing 10 cameos. And they're like $1,000 each. And it was insane. Mikey said Nick Kroll was in the Geico Caveman series. Thank you. Plain Simple Gareth said Jingle All the Way was fun when I was a kid. Another great example of a bad movie. Leo said, what's the worst wrestling shirt that you've seen? Hard to be cocked, locked, and ready to unload, because when I read that as a child, I had no idea what it meant. Didn't know how the parts worked. Here we go. Where are we? I've lost my soap dish. Thank you, Mike. Wow. That's a deep cut movie that no one knows about. I want to wash my nuts in snow. Bill Wood said, I auditioned for Uncle Buck in 89. Please tell me more. Amanda said, have you watched the Iron Claw movie yet? No. I just don't have the time to go see a movie right now. I said it. Man Sandy said, how about Stripes? Stripes is great. And then you're like, there's that whole thing where they go to Europe. It's like 2 movies in one. And I feel like they should have just split them up. They should have done all the training, and then they should have done, we're going to the war. I think that movie was good. Nomax said, Delirious is the soap writer one. Delirious, oh, that's the one where I'm talking? Okay, thank you. Simon said Delirious is the one he's a soap operator. Well, what the fuck was I thinking of? Am I thinking of Harry Crumb? He also did one with Eugene Levy where there was a lot of, this comedian is a spy and he's got to go undercover. A lot. Yolanda said, good morning, everybody. RJ, your shoulders are looking great. See, that's a nice thing to do. Just compliment someone. You know, that's an option too. Christine said Soup Dish would be a fun movie too. Splendid said, do you like Adventures in Babysitting? No. I know you had a crush on Elizabeth Shue, and I mean, good for you, but otherwise, no. Amanda said, oh my God, my husband loves Blues Brothers and just watched it, and I talked shit. Poor guy, he ruined his fucking movie. Leo said, you have to pressure Tony Khan to get Adam Friedland. I hate yo-yo. Yeah. All right, great. Good. Just tweet him. He's on Twitter. Kurt said, January 6th here in Ireland, known as Women's Christmas or Little Christmas. We're supposed to spoil the women in our lives and also bring down the decorations. I have never, Kurt, you just making shit up? Because this one is new for me. Little Christmas. Oh, could there be a more patronizing thing to wish someone than Merry Little Christmas? Dying Soul said, I'm reading a book where a guy goes back in time to try to stop the Kennedy assassination. If you could change one watershed moment in history, what would it be and why? Oh, a watershed moment. Well, Kennedy's pretty good because I feel like if the Kennedy thing didn't happen, you don't get to Nixon. And, you know, so that would save us Nixon. Not bad. Really. Yeah, maybe that one. They always go back in time and kill Hitler, and then I go, what? And then what happens? And then what goes on? And then that would be a good one. Right? I don't know enough about like the butterfly effect of the everything, and because you don't want to make it worse. You know, you don't want to make it worse. That's the thing. So that's the, you know, what's I would say Lou Rawls' coughing fit when he performed at the Grammy Awards. I would go back and stop that. Joseph said, RJ is hardcore drinking black coffee, and it's delightful. Leo said, Undertaker had royalty-free porno music in the background of his cameos. God bless. James said, love the Undertaker cameo he did for the AW fan that's dressed as Scooby-Doo. Kurt said, Undertaker had a cameo just a granny. Soap Dish didn't have a younger Tony Stark. What are we talking about? Leo said, have you met Tony Schiavone's dog Bug? No, I haven't been invited to the Schiavone residence yet. Brad said, the Blues Brothers played the last show at the Winterland Ballroom with the Grateful Dead on New Year's Eve, and there were mounds and mounds of coke consumed to Bill Graham. What are we talking about? Look, sounds good to me, Bradley. Doug said, Wagons East, his last movie. Delirious. Oh, Armed and Dangerous. Thank you, Jack. Was the movie where him and Eugene Levy are dressed up and doing that whole thing. Rod said, I trust you'll have a great week, RJ. Human Adventure said, a movie I tend to watch quite a bit is Popeye. Also, Noise is Off. What a cast. Noise is Off. It's got John Ritter, Christopher Reeve, Michael Caine, Mary Lou Henner, and there's other people I'm forgetting, but I remember going, this is amazing. Great movie. Delirious. We're still talking about Delirious. Chet said, have you ever seen Cool as Ice, Living Allies movie? No. Nell said, apparently a lot of serial killers are immune to the usually contagious yawn. Just in case anyone didn't yawn after RJ just did. Rob did not yawn. Nails is married to a serial killer. V said, Doctor Who says you can't change fixed events for a reason. You don't want to start messing with the system. You know. Mike said, what are your thoughts on Hamlet 2? I think it's brilliant and underrated. David told me his part got trimmed significantly, and I wonder if he upset people. I do remember that. I think I would probably like it more now. It was too raunch for my time. I was a sweet boy. Dorothy said, thank you, Doug, for the birthday wish. Love you, baby doll. No, I was not texting while driving. This has nothing to do with me. Doug said, does anyone remember the Elton John video, I Want Love, with Robert Downey Jr.? No. I got out of rehab, and they asked him to walk around in his mansion and lip sync the words. Oh, he got out of rehab. I thought this is what got you out of it. When in doubt, said Nails, check. I've lost my place. David said, when in doubt, check with the doctor. Garrick said, I don't believe yawning is a good way to determine a serial killer potential. But you can't be too trusting in this day and age. M said, Lou Roll's first wife is best friends with Gino Hernandez's mother, and the Rolls family grew up close to David Arquette. He's friendly with the Rollses. Vanessa said, what's the weirdest cameo you've ever been asked to do? Vaginoplasty is up there, I think. David thought it would be funny once I do a cameo for his daughter, and it was just like, the whole time, just like, what the fuck are we doing here? I'm sorry. Also, there's a guy I used to work with on Splat a lot, and his coworker now got one for him, but we're still friends. And I'm like, buddy, you could just text me. Happy to, just catch up. We didn't need to do this. I think it would be those. There was also a crazy guy. It was the only time I really declined a cameo, where he was like, oh, what would you say to Mick Foley if you guys were having dinner? And then he would get one from Mick. And he was trying to script a whole dinner. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Superplexes has said, remember when Andre the Giant was in that honeycomb commercial? It was hot. Honey taste. Dun, 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 dun. The big honey taste. I want the honey taste. Yes. The answer is yes. I remember it. Leo said, do you remember the wrestling journalist who worked for I'm a Fat Mark Weekly? No, I do not. Thoughts on Cool Runnings? It's okay. Better than Uncle Buck, probably. Neil said, see me, and now I have to say about those Chiefs. Oh, Julie said, finally, someone else who knows noise is off. Cody said, what's your favorite song from Doug? He's a real nowhere man. He always ends where he began. That one I love. Banging on a Trash Can was great. Killer Tofu is also really, really hard to beat. And there's so many others. They had real music. They have to have an album somewhere. Kurt said, if you don't copy a yawn, it's a sign you don't experience empathy. That makes sense. Cats and dogs are susceptible to it also. I did not know that. I'm going to just yawn at Sylvia one day. Just straight in her face. Look at me. Look at me. Harley said, just spin already. Wow. What a needy, sick, decrepit, shallow human being she has immediately revealed herself to be. You sit on it and spin. Which is a good insult that needs to come back. Neil said, let's all like this video while we're at it. Miss Andy said, David Arquette seems to know everyone. Popular guy. Which wrestler has the best dog, said Leo. I don't know. I try not to. It's not necessary. Human Venture said, never mind. It was called Nothing But Trouble with Dan Aykroyd. And Tupac is in the movie. That was me who asked you to do a cameo for Jeeth. Mikey, that was you? Mikey asked me to do a cameo for Jeeth, who I work with on Splatterlot and love speaking to. You could have just cut out the middleman, Mikey. Have a great week, friends. Leo said, what would you say if you invited Mick Foley round for dinner? I've eaten with him before. I had a great, good time. Christine said, that Andre commercial. I want the big honey taste. Leo said, Chris Pratt is voicing Doug in the Doug movie, also starring James Corden. Can't wait. Sounds great. Plain Simple Garrick said, Harley has been waiting patiently for the ending. She should have just tuned in at the ending. Chris Pratt. You just wrote that. Stop it, Leo. Thank you for another lovely Sunday morning, RJ and pals. Drinking coffee and knitting with your company. That is very sweet. Dorothy said, no, Noises Off is a bucket list play. I played the director when we did it in high school, but we did it as clowns, and it was the whole fucking thing. David said, Freakazoid. Memory on I love Freakazoid. Freakazoid's great. Follow the guy, the guy who does the voices on Twitter. He talks about the show all the time. Nail said, if Mick knew your opinions on Christmas movies, he was not eat with you. So nobody tell him. All right, fine, fuckers. That was the show. Go watch the latest AEW with Billie Starkz. Go like, go watch, go share, do all that. Tell her you loved it. Tell AEW you loved it. And Ring of Honor. And more importantly, Billie Starkz' mother, who's probably going to have a tough time right now. Hey, this is all of a sudden very demeaning. hope you're all happy. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless.